It took me a whole year and 7 months more to realize that I had stopped doing things that actually made me happy. All throughout my board preparation, about 6 months before my actual boards, I had stopped writing. I'd stopped letting poetry come inside my head and I'd stopped rhyming. I'd stopped picking up a piece of paper just to write down the first thing that came inside my head. I'd started practicing more, I'd started paying attention in class, and I told myself that if I can write a poem in my head once, I can do it again. Turns out I couldn't. When the boards got over, I wanted to write again. And my mind was always filled. It was like a rat running around a treadmill, but nothing ever came out. And I got frustrated. I got very upset at this whirlwind of voices inside my head because it was never coming out. It wasn't an ordinary writer's block. It was a self-induced writer's block. And I had made this happen to myself by depriving myself of every opportunity to write. So when the frustration got too much, I decided to try something different. Instead of writing a poem, I decided to write a story. And this story turned out to be hilariously ridiculous. But to be honest, it was the best thing I'd written in months. And so I decided to submit it for a competition. Now this anecdote does not have a happy ending. It has an expected ending. I lost. And I'd never even expected to win. But in all honesty, it hurt just a tiny bit. Next, I decided to try something new. I realized that the main problem was I couldn't frame sentences. And so I decided to write 2-word poems. So each line of my poem just had 2 words. All I had to do was get 2 words that sounded good together and just put them in a poem. And I got surprisingly good results.
Then I wrote about people. I thought about a person in my head and I associated them with a different person or with an object. I called my friends shining stars and rock defying waves, and I called some acquaintances saviors and soulless travelers. I imagined them in my head and then I gave them a whole new personality on paper. I started with talking about what they were like to me, and then I made them into a whole new person with parts of me thrown in for good measure.
Things picked up from there. I started using things in my writing that I've never used before. I added oxymorons, I used dialogues, I even wrote a longer story. And this story was the best thing I've ever created. Looking at that Word document filled me with a feeling so great that I can't even begin to describe it. And I'd written that with my own words. Things haven't always been this great. It has taken hours and hours of frustration and regret and irritation just to get 8 lines on a paper. And I'm not going to say that it was worth it, because it's not worth it. But it just made me realize how much I love writing. And with all this struggle, it made me realize that I put a lot of myself into my characters. I put a lot of my emotions, a lot of feelings I felt before into my poems. But it also made me realize that I could write about emotions I'd never felt before. And it amazed me to an unbelievable extent. I wondered about it so much that I shamelessly asked people I've never spoken to before about how they could do it. I even emailed my favorite author and asked him this very same question.
Spoiler alert, I never got a response. This question has tormented me since forever, but now I don't bother with it anymore. I let it come as it does and just go along with it.
This struggle also taught me that I hate word limits. I hate them to my very core. I hate that they stop me from creating webs that I can get lost in. I hate that they don't let me explain every decision that my character took. I hate that they expect me to explain the complexity of human nature, a decision as simple as choosing between bread or butter at breakfast in about 250 words.
I hate that they expect me to explain why Faisal helped Hakim without first explaining Faisal's life from birth to this date and then draw a conclusion between how he lived his life and why he chose to help Hakim in the first place. And it's not even metaphorical. I don't hate word limits because they limit my freedom of speech or because they make writing feel like a hassle and not a privilege. I hate them because they exist to cripple my writing's creativity and destroy my burning passion that needs to bleed out on paper.
The next thing I realized was that I could escape my world with just a laptop screen in front of me. I could write through anxiety attacks, and all it took was ferocious speed and a haze of words. And the end result was better than anything I could imagine, even with bruised fingers and a broken spine. Writing has been the best outlet that I've needed since forever. And isn't it sad that I only discovered that 4 months ago? Writing and words have been with me in times of joy and in those times when the world seems to be ending and my heart is palpitating, my lungs don't seem to be working, and I feel like I'm having a heart attack. Spoiler alert, it was just stress. Whenever someone asks me questions like, describe yourself in 3 words, I can't do it. For 2 reasons. First, because somebody's given me a word limit again and I'm absolutely wild about it. And second, because I don't think I've discovered myself completely yet. I believe it takes people a whole lifetime and maybe more to figure out who they are. And writing didn't do that for me. Writing didn't explain who I was to myself. Writing just gave me a path to find out. I'm not even saying I'm a great writer. I don't even know if I'm a writer. But I don't let that bother me anymore. I don't have to be a writer to write about what a pen spill on a white bed sheet represents for me and my life. All I need is a laptop screen and occasionally a pen and paper. If there's anything I want you to take away from this talk, it's this. Don't stop yourself. Don't stop yourself from doing things that are meant to make you feel alive. Don't stop yourself from going crazy and just staying like that for a minute. Don't stop yourself from doing things that actually make you happy. Everything, and I mean everything, can wait. Just take out a moment from your life and do things that actually make you feel happy. I was going to give a talk on racism today. I had the whole thing written down and it was all planned and everything. But I decided that if I was going to talk about something, it had to be the thing that had been there with me through all the good times and the bad ones. And so I took out a moment from my life and I wrote this talk, and it was the easiest thing in the world.
You're just a psychopath, merely a maniac. Well, I prefer creative, with a dash of reality, majority of fiction, with a pint of individuality. Just indulging in a fantasy, with her head in the clouds. More of a daydreamer, I'd say, building empires in the skies. You're unhealthy, said the world, sick to the head and frozen to the bone. Well, I prefer reversible cessation, waiting to be saved, and until then, thriving off of violence so pretty that the world calls it love.